Hello and welcome back. My name is Dr. Velez. Now I'm making this video today in response to a few things that were said to me on Facebook. I'm not going to post the original post on Facebook because I don't have the person's permission. I don't want to offend them. But I want to respond, and it's something that somebody I went to high school with posted about Black Lives Matter. And so I decided to make a video to address this. Now this is going to be very unpopular. I mean, a lot of people are going to be really pissed off at me for saying this. But I'm going to say it anyway, because I hate political correctness. I hate it with a raging passion, always have my entire life. Now, I made the statement that Black Lives Matter is the new KKK, right? We say Black Lives Matter with a tan, right? Or the KKK with a tan, excuse me. Black Lives Matter is almost what the KKK was. No, they don't hang people, but they shoot cops. And before you say, no, that's not true, I'm going to show you a few videos where they call for the death of cops. Now, let me begin by addressing the many elephants in the room. There is no racism in America. That's bullshit. There is no racism. There isn't. It doesn't exist. Not in the way that people say. Is there racism? Can there be individual racists? Absolutely. Stupid people are going to be there no matter what we do. We can never stamp out human ignorance. But personally, the only racism I have ever seen has been from black people. I've never seen racism from whites. I've never seen racism from Latinos. I've never seen racism from Asians. I've only seen it from black people. And I mean personally towards myself or towards people I know, or I should say, and towards people I know, have been by black people, not white people. And mind you, I'm Hispanic. I'm both Hispanic and Latino. Now, why do I say this? Look, the issue that we have in America is a culture problem. Black people in America have a culture problem. It's not a race problem. It's a culture problem. Let's look at a few statistics. And again, I feel free to go check these yourselves. First, a black man is 18.5 times more likely to shoot a police officer than any other race in America. Now think about that. Think what that does to the mentality of the police. Now the argument is going to be from Black Lives Matter. Oh, but that's because cops kill us. Well, it turns out that's not true. It turns out cops, both by numbers and by percentages, kill less black people than any other race. You can look that up. These are statistics. These are facts that you can find from the government, from the individual police precincts. That's the first one. Second, when I say there's a culture problem, there's a violence problem. Black men are inherently more violent. And when I say inherently, I don't mean genetically, okay? That's not what I mean. I mean culturally. And you can't deny this because first, let's look at a few statistics. Let's work backwards. The argument is going to be by Black Lives Matter that the prison system in America is, to use their words, inherently biased towards black people. Well, is that true? Okay, over 60% of the incarcerated population in America are black men. Well said. What they don't mention is that African American males between the ages of 18 and 35 constitute 6% of the population. And yet they commit over 45% of the violent crimes. 6% of the population is committing over 45% of the violent crime. Does that mean white people don't commit crimes? Hell no. Does that mean Asians or Latinos don't commit crimes? No. But it means that by a large, undeniable, proven number, black men commit more crimes. That's just a fact. That's not racism. That doesn't make me racist. I don't hate black people. But it's a fact and we have to point it out. This is why you have more incarcerated black men. It's not because the system is biased against them. It's because the system is biased against people who violate the law. And if you violate the law, guess what? You're going to jail. I don't care what color of skin you are. That doesn't matter. This whole narrative that white people have it easier. No, it's not. Again, by percentages, more African Americans are in poverty. This is true. But again, that is a culture-related issue, and I'm going to show you in a minute. The other is that by numbers, there are more white people that are poor than black people. In fact, there are more poor white people in America than total number of black people. But because Americans, white Americans, constitute 65 or 60 to 62, something like that, percent of the entire population, then yes, you're going to have more white people that are going to be poor than the total amount of black people, which constitutes about 12 to 16% of the population. Now, this is important. All right, this is very important that we deal with this. I'm going to show you a few videos in a minute, so please hang in there. I'll show you a few videos of what I mean. And again, these aren't videos of me talking. These are videos where you're going to see Black Lives Matter, and you can hear, you could judge for yourself what they're saying, and you can say what their intent is. Now, again, when we go back to the culture issue and poverty, over 75% of African American women are single mothers. Psychology will tell you that the number one defining parameter or characteristic for predictive behavior, again, it's not guaranteed, but predictive behavior of negative criminal behavior is being raised by a single mother. Not by a single father, by a single mother. Why that is, it's not really clear right now why that is. But the results are undeniable. So again, we look at millions of cases and we can see that there's a clear pattern. But now, going back to this, white people didn't force black people to leave their women. The country didn't force them to. The system didn't force them to. The police didn't force them to. And you can say, well, because the system is so unfair and the poor black men, they just leave their white women because of, no, it's not, or their black women, excuse me. No, it's not. It's because they're fucking assholes. Not all of them, mind you, but look, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to argue with you. If you're a man, I don't care what color you are, and you leave your woman, you abandon her, means you don't pay child support, you don't visit your children, you just leave. You are an asshole. I don't care what color you are. Now, there just happens to be by percentage more black assholes than white assholes with relation to men that leave their women and children. That's just a fact. And black women complain about this all the time, that there aren't enough black men that are responsible. But again, and it goes back to, when I say it's a culture problem, it goes back. And I can imagine people are going to be like, oh my God, you're so racist. How would you know? You're not black. And it's the intellectual cop-out. You don't know because you didn't grow up in black America. No, I know because I have a genius level IQ and I have a decent education. And I can read, I can see, right? You don't have to be able to live the experience to understand it. You don't have to. This is the beauty of human intellect. The problem, in my opinion, is going to be African American women. And I know you're going to say, oh my God, he's racist against black women now. Oh, dear God. No, I'm not racist against black women. But the problem is black women, and the reason is because they raised the men. They raised the men. And it could be that the men raised that the boys are raising in a home without a man, so they don't really understand what a man should do. That's part of the problem, undeniably. And maybe it's the level of education and experience that the women have, because they can't really go to school. They can't get higher education. They can't get life experience because they have to raise the children. And this also plays in children raising children. So there are many, many things that feed into it that are going to produce this result. But again, it's a culture problem, not a racist problem. Not a racist problem. It's a culture problem. We have a black president. We have black congressmen, black actors, black sports players, black business leaders. We have black everything. So it's not a cult. It's not a race problem. It's a culture problem. So now, the argument is going to be, and I saw this on this guy Trevor Noah. I swear to God, how is it that liberals will let a South African that did not grow up in America? But I guess because he's black, he understands. If you're black, you automatically understand everything, right? This guy comes here and then tells us who should be our president, how America should be run. This guy isn't even a funny comedian. This guy, we make very logical arguments, and he just says, "I don't get it. How can you believe this?" But what do you mean? How can we believe this? These are the facts. These are the facts, and they're undeniable. Until you deal with reality, until you deal with the truth, you're not going to solve it. You're not going to get anywhere. It's like an alcoholic. Somebody says he drinks all the time. And he says, well, I don't have a problem. Well, okay, fine. Maybe I have a problem, but, I don't drink too much. Well, until that person admits the problem, they can't get help. And look, the rest of America, we're here to help. Because the African American community is an integral part of America. They are what make America America. It's this combination, this mosaic that we have of different races and cultures. This is what America is. So part of America is having a very serious problem. This affects all of America, and we should all be involved in solving this problem. But particularly the black leaders, unlike the racist driving Al Sharpton, which I honestly cannot wait till that guy dies of natural old age. I don't wish him harm. I just wish him gone. But back to Trevor Noah, this guy's he's a complete idiot, and he just fans the flames, and he's saying, well, few people chanted kill cops, but that doesn't represent all of Black Lives Matter. But it was on their website. It was on their website where they called for the murder of cops, and then they took it down quickly, but it was on their website. Not only that, but the leader, the founder of Black Lives Matter, who was arrested for violating the law, mind you, he called for the death of cops. You know, and again, let's watch this. Watch the first one where they say they're chanting, and these are protesters for Black Lives Matter. You can see them carrying their signs, and these are hundreds of people chanting, "What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them? Now." Just go ahead and watch. Okay, so if you're saying, wow, come on, that's one incident. Come on, Omar, that's only one incident. Okay, fair enough. Here's another one where they're saying, what do we want? Pigs in a blanket, or sorry, not what do we want? We say pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. I don't think these people are hungry, or at least they're hungry, but they're not hungry for pork. So just go ahead and watch and tell me what you think about this.
Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon. 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 Pigs in a blanket.
And lastly, this is my favorite one. When I say we have a culture problem, and I say the women are the problem here, the black women, the black single women that are raising these families, not all of them, but a majority of them, that's where the issue, that's where the real problem is. And America should support these women so they can raise these children properly. By giving free shit, mind you, support in other ways. This is where the problem is. This is a woman who, this is child abuse. I mean, this is borderline, and this isn't borderline, this is child abuse. Watch what this woman did to her child just because he voted Trump. And then mind you, this is a 6-year-old child. A 6-year-old child who loves his mommy and goes home because he participated in a mock election, voted for Trump. 6-year-old child doesn't know the difference. No 6-year-old child knows the difference of what they're doing. Watch what she does to him. This is disgusting.
Since you voted for Donald Trump, you can get your and get out. The suitcase is packed by the door. Yeah, been packed it since this morning. Bye. Matter of fact, and get your sign so when the people see you outside, they know why you're standing out there. Here you go. Now, here, take your sign. Get up. Come on here. Come on. Everyone, come on here. Let's go. Come on. Take your sign. Bye. Let's go. You wanna vote for him? I'm gonna show you. Come on.
Okay.
Move.
Okay.
Let's go. Here's your suitcase. Bye.
Uncle David.
Get your suitcase.
No.
Edward, get your suitcase and get out. Bye.
No.
Go.
No.
We don't do Donald Trump here. Get your suitcase.
Okay.
Get out.
No.
Get out. Here you go.
No.
Bye. Bye, Donald Trump lover.
I got school tomorrow.
You got school tomorrow. You should have thought about that. Bye. This where you gonna be at from now on. Why did you vote for him at school? Why did you vote for him at school? Why did you vote for him at school? Because you see him on TV a lot. Boy, bye. Anyways, yep, you see him on TV. Well, I hope you find another TV to see him on, because this is going to be your new home. You can't come back here. Bye. No. He voted for Donald Trump. No. Bye. Bye. You can go be with the Donald Trump lover.
Now, you may say, oh, but Omar, that's one example of one mother. No, there's the other woman who shot at police officers, excuse me. She had a shotgun. She made a video how she was going to martyr herself and kill herself. And she used her baby as body protection. She was holding her baby while she was shooting. The cops, they shot her dead. And Black Lives Matter made a big issue of how the cops shot this woman. She was using her baby as a shield. Okay, now there's no video of that, but you know, you can see the pictures of who I'm talking about. Look, this is a culture problem, and this isn't one example. There are many. Michael Brown, hands up, don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot. Really? What about the convenience store that you robbed before? Or what about the policeman whose gun you tried to grab? And what about the policeman who you tried to shoot? The policeman who shot you in the hand, you ran away, and the blood shows you running away, coming back, and attacking the police officer who then shoots you dead. Hands up, don't shoot. You've got to be kidding me. No, there was no hands up, don't shoot. That narrative is not real. It never did happen. Lies. Black lives matter. Black lives don't matter. No, they don't matter. They don't matter to black people. 95% of black men are killed by black men. And yes, you can argue that 90% of white people are killed by white people. This is true too, and this is another issue. This is a problem also. I'm not saying it's not, but it's a separate video. It's a separate problem. I don't want to mix the two issues together. Every subsection of America has its own problems that need to be dealt with. We shouldn't use one to validate or excuse the other. This is disgusting. It is what goes on. Most gang members in America are black or Hispanic. And the Hispanic community, my community, has other issues that we have to deal with. We have a very high rate, over 60% of single mothers also. We have a large gang-related problem as well. Although our issue is more first-generation immigrant and second-generation immigrant than anything else. The culture problem that runs in the African-American community has been there for over 100 years and is deeply embedded. You can call me a racist all you want in the comment below. I don't care. I'm going to point it out. I don't care about political correctness. This needs to be talked about. We as a country, we as a people need to have this discussion. We need to have this discussion to see what we're going to do. Because I'm getting tired of being called a racist. I'm tired of being called a bigot. I'm tired of being called a sexist just because I'm conservative. I'm sorry, I don't care. You call me whatever you want, but I'm going to point it out, and I'm going to point out the painful truth. So tell me what you guys think. Do you disagree? Do you have other statistics? Do you think I'm completely wrong? Let me know. Comment in the section below. Please do subscribe. It helps what I'm doing. I'm trying to build this channel up. And do visit www.dsunion.org. That's www.dsunion.org. It'll be in the description below. And I will also link all the original videos below so that you can yourself go and do your own research. Again, these are just a few examples. If I did all the examples, my video would be like a day or 2 days long because there are too many examples, way too many. Please do your own homework. Thank you. Goodbye.